Hi, my name is Aaliyah. I'm from AC1101A and my student ID is 2025880970.
Hi, my name is Dayang or Amirah binti Awang Abdul Halim Faisal. I'm from AC1101A and my student ID is 2025401506.
Hi, my name is Nur Farina binti Abdul Talip. I'm from AC1101A and my student ID is 2025202476.
Hi, my name is Nur Zahra binti Zakria. And I'm from AC1101A and my student ID is 2025461036.
Compound interest is interest accumulated from a principal sum and previously accumulated interest. It is the result of reinvesting or retaining interest that would otherwise be paid out or of the accumulation of debts from a borrower. The final sum at the end of the borrowing period is called as compound amount.
Okay, now I'm going to explain question 1. In this question, we are told that in the year 2020, Haris invested in a unit trust that offered an interest rate of 4.2%, compounded every 4 months. After a period of 6 years, the value of his investment grew to 8,800 ringgit. What we need to find is the amount he originally invested. To begin, the final amount after 6 years is 8,800 ringgit. The annual interest rate is 4.2%, which we write in a decimal form as 0.042. Because the interest is compounded every 4 months, we first find out how many compounding periods there are in a year. Since a year have 12 months, dividing 12 by 4 give us 3 compounding periods per year. Next, we calculate the interest earned in each of these periods. To do this, we take the yearly rate 0.042 and divide it by the 3 compounding periods. This gives us 0.014, meaning the investment grows by 1.4% during each compounding cycle. Now, we need to determine how many times the interest is compounded over the full 6 years. With 3 compounding periods in each year, multiplied by 6 years, we get a total of 18 compounding periods. With all this information, we use the compound interest formula, which is S equal to P times the quantity 1 plus I raised to the power of N. Here, S is the final amount, P is the initial amount, I is the interest per compounding period, and N is the total of number of periods. So, we substitute what we know into the formula. 8,800 equals P times 1.014 raised to the power of 18. When we solve the equation for P, the result tells us that Haris' initial investment was 6,851 ringgit and 72 cents. So, the amount he originally invested in the unit trust was 6,851 and 72 cents. Okay, now I'm going to explain question B1. After completing his first investment, Haris later contributed an additional 3,500 ringgit into the same fund. He then combined or consolidated the previous amount and this new contribution, giving him a total of 12,300 ringgit. Instead of keeping the money in one place, he decided to reinvest the entire amount into 2 different investment funds. He placed 50% of the total into the Wahid fund and the remaining 50% into the Versa fund. The Wahid fund offered an interest rate of 3.8% compounded quarterly, while the Versa fund offered 4.2% compounded monthly. Our task is to calculate the maturity value of each investment by the end of the year 2033 and eventually the total amount. First, we begin by taking half of the total investment for each fund. Since the full amount is 12,300 ringgit, half of it is 6,150 ringgit. This becomes the principal for each of the 2 funds. Let's look at the Wahid fund first. The annual rate is 3.8% because the interest is compounded quarterly. That means 4 times a year. So, to find the interest for each period, we take 0.038 and divided it by 4. This gives us 0.0095 or in fractional form 19/2000. Next, we determine the total number of compounding periods. The investment grows from the end of the year 2026 until the end of the year 2033. which is a total of 7 years. With 4 compounding periods in each year, 7 years give us 28 compounding periods altogether. Now, we use the compound amount formula, which is S equal to P times the quantity 1 plus I raised to the power of N. We substitute the value for the Wahid fund, S equal to 6,150 times 1 plus 19 over 2,000. Now, we use the compound amount formula S equals P times the quantity 1 plus I raised to the power of N. We substitute the value for the Wahid fund, which is S equals to 6,150 times 1 plus 19 over 2,000 raised to the power of 28. When this is calculated, the maturity value for the Wahid fund becomes 8,040 ringgit and 5 cents. And that is the final value for the first half of the reinvested amount. For the Versa fund, I started with a principal of 6,150 ringgit. The yearly interest rate is 4.2% and it is compounded every month. So, I divided the annual rate by 12 and got a monthly rate of 7 over 2,000. The investment lasts for 7 years. So, I multiplied 12 months by 7 and got 84 monthly period. Then, I used the compound interest formula, which is principal multiplied by 1 plus the monthly rate raised to the power of 84. This gives a final amount of 8,247 ringgit and 74 cents, which is higher because of the slightly better rate and monthly compounding. Okay, I'm going to explain. Question 1B2. The Versa fund offer a better deal because it gives a higher return, which is Versa interest rate is 4.2%, which means your money grows faster compared to the Wahid fund that only offer 3.8%. So for the same amount of investment, Versa will generate more profit over time.
The next question is calculate the total interest earned from this investment from 2020 until 2033. The formula to find the total interest is I equal to S minus P. The first step, we need to find the amount of S, which is equal to 16,261 ringgit 79 cents, which is the total maturity values, plus with 8,800 ringgit, which is the future value of unit trust that Haris invested in. So the total amount is 25,061 ringgit 79 cents, and that's the amount of S. We need to find the amount of value P. So P equal to 12,300 ringgit, which we get by 8,800 ringgit, which is the future value of unit trust, plus with 3,500 ringgit, which is the additional amount that Haris contributed in the same fund. And then the 12,300 ringgit we plus with 6,851 ringgit 72 cents, and we get the amount of value P, which is 90,151 ringgit 72 cents. Finally, we can find the total interest. So the total interest equal to 35,061 ringgit 79 cents minus with 19,151 ringgit 72 cents. So the total interest is 5,910 ringgit 7 cents. So next, I'll be explaining about an annuity. An annuity is a series of recurring cash payments that occur at regular intervals, such as rent on an apartment, a monthly mortgage loan payment, or monthly auto loan payments. In ordinary annuities, payments are made at the end of each period. With annuities due, they are scheduled at the beginning of the period. Deposits usually made in equal amount at equal intervals of times. Okay, next I'll be explaining about question 2A. So the question is, Lisa's parents allocated an initial principal of 15,000 ringgit into her college bond upon her birth. This fund earns 3.9% interest compounded every 4 months for 18 years. After 18 years, the entire accumulated amount will be used to fund her college education through equal withdrawals in every 4 months over a span of 5 years. So the question is, calculate the total accumulated amount of the fund after 18 years. So first, we need to highlight the keywords of the question. So P equal to 15,000 ringgit, which is the principal amount. Next, K, which is annual nominal rate, which is 0.039. And the next, M equal to frequency of conversion, equal to 3. And the next, I is periodic interest rate, which is equal to 0.013. Next, T, which is the time of investment, equal to 18. And the next, total number of interest rate, which is N equal to MT. So N equal to 54. So for this question, we use the formula of S equal to P multiplied with 1 plus I power with N. So P is 50,000 ringgit multiplied with 1 plus 0.013 and power with 54. So the accumulated amount of the fund after 18 years is 13,130 ringgit and 15 cents.
Question B. Find the amount that Lisa can withdraw in every 4 months from the account while she is in college. The number of compounding periods is first determined using the formula N equals to M multiplied by T, where the compounding frequency is 3 and the time period is 5 years, giving a total of 15 periods. The annuity formula A equals to R bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus I to the power of negative N over I is then used to find the periodic payment. Substituting the known values A, which equals to 30,130 ringgit and 15 cent, I equals to 0.013 and N equals to 15 results in the equation of 30,130 ringgit and 50 cent equals to R bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus 0.013 to the power of negative 15 over 0.013. Solving this equation gives the periodic payment R, which is equal to 2,223 ringgit and 87 cent. Upon graduating and beginning her career, Lisa plans to purchase a car priced at 70,000 ringgit. She makes a 12% down payment and secures financing for the remaining amount through a bank over a 7-year term, with interest compounded monthly at a rate of 4.2%. Calculate the monthly payment and the total amount of interest charged by the bank. To calculate the monthly payment for the car loan, the car price of 70,000 ringgit is first reduced by a 12% down payment, which amounts to 8,400 ringgit. This leaves a finance amount of 61,600 ringgit. The loan is compounded monthly, so M equals to 12, and the nominal interest rate is K, which equals to 0.042. The periodic interest rate is found by dividing the nominal rate by the number of compounding periods, giving I equals to 0.042 divided by 12, which equals to 7 over 2,000. The total number of monthly payments is N equals to M multiplied by T, where 12 multiplied by 7 equals to 84. Using the annuity formula of A equals to R bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus I to the power of negative N over I, and substituting A equals to 61,000 ringgit and 600, the monthly payment is calculated to be 847 ringgit and 68 cent. The total interest paid over the loan period is then found using I equals to N multiplied by R minus A, which gives I equals to 84 bracket 847 ringgit and 68 cent minus by 61,600, which equals to 9,605 and 12 cent.
If she failed to make her first 3 monthly payment, what amount must she pay in the 4th month to fully clear the outstanding areas? So, she missed 3 payments and now she wants to pay everything in the 4th month, so the number of period N is equals to 4 because the missed payment accumulate interest for up to 4 months. So we are going to use the formula of annuity of S, which is S equals to R bracket 1 plus I bracket to the power of N minus 1 over I, where S is the total amount she must pay on the 4th month, R the regular monthly payment, I the monthly interest rate, and the number of payment missed plus the payment on the 4th month. So, and the interest rate used is I equals to 7 over 2,000, and which is, this comes from 7% of annually divided by 12 written as a fraction. Then we will substitute the values to the equation, which is S equals to R, which is 847 and 68 cents bracket 1 plus 7 over 2,000, which is I bracket to the power of 4, which is N minus 1 over 7 over 2,000, which is I. And so after calculating, the total amount she needs to pay is 3,408 and 56 cents. After completing 5 years of loan payment, Lisa intends to fully settle the remaining balance. Determine the amount to be paid and total interest incurred over the period. So, after making loan payment for 5 years, Lisa still has 24 months of installment left because her loan originally had 84 monthly payment and she has already completed 60. So, we are going to use the equation of N equals to 84 minus 60 and we will get 24. After that, to find out the remaining balance she needs to settle, and we will using the annuity equation of A equals to R bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus I bracket to the power of negative N over I. And the R is equals to 847.68 bracket 1 minus bracket 1 minus 7 over 2,000 bracket to the power of negative 24 over 7 over 2,000, which is the I, and we will get 19,480 and 63 cents. This gives a remaining balance of 19,480 and 63 cents. And next we are going to calculate the rebate, which represents the unearned interest for the remaining period. So the equation of rebate is rebate equals to NR minus A, which is N is 24 multiplied by R at 47.68 minus A, which is 19,480 and 63 cents, and we will get 863.69, and we will get 863 ringgit and 69 cents. Next, the total value of all 84 payments over the full loan period is computed using the future value annuity formula, which is S equals to R bracket 1 plus I bracket to the power of N minus 1 over I, which is R is equals to 847 and 68 cents bracket 1 plus 7 over 2,000, which is the I bracket to the power of 84, which is N minus 1 over 7 over 2,000, which is the I, and we will get 82611.34. So the total interest charge over the entire loan is found by subtracting the total paid in installment, which is using the formula I equals to S minus N multiplied by R, and S is equals to
2,611.34 minus 84 multiplied by 847.68, and we will get 11,406.22 cents. So next, we are going to calculate the total interest incurred over the period, which is deducting the rebate from this interest amount, which is I equals to 11,406.22 cents minus 863.69 cents, and we will get 10,542.53 cents. So the actual total interest incurred becomes 10,542 ringgit and 53 cents. This represents the true interest cost after accounting for the early settlement rebate.
tomorrow's exam.
Oh, far. But what about our math assignment?
Wait, there's a math assignment?
Of course.
So when's the due date?
It's today.
Oh, no. Really?
So how? It's okay, guys. We can do it, even though it's last minute. Let's
Okay,
help
let's-
each other.
let's
Yes,
go.
let's go. Let's go. Okay, guys. Now we should start with our group project discussion.
Okay.
Let's begin.
Let's go.
Hello everyone! Today we're going to present our group project for MAT112 Business Math prepared for Madam Juliza. So, this is our group members. The next one is the table of content. We have two questions to solve. Question 1 is chapter 3, which is compound interest. Meanwhile, question 2 is chapter 4, annuity.
Hello, my name is Fiona. I will solve question 1A and B1. In 2020, Shazwan invested in a unit trust that offer a 4% compounded quarterly. After 5 years, in unit trust was valued at 7,500. A. What is Shazwan's initial investment in this unit trust? So, in this question, we need to find all the formula given. Like P, we don't know what the value is. We can find I. I is 0.04 divided by 4. So the answer is 0.01. M is 4 because the question said it's compounded quarterly. K is 4%. Meanwhile, S is 7,500. And N value is 4 times 5 is 20. After we find all the value, so we transfer it to the formula. S is 7,500 equals to P, I plus 0.01 and N is 20. So the final answer is 6,146.58 cents. Question B. Subsequently, Shazwan contribute an additional 5,000 into the same fund. He then consolidated the total amount, reinvest it into two separate investment fund. He invests 50% of this amount in Wahed Fund, which is offered 4.8% compounded monthly, and another 50% in Versa Fund, which offer 4.6% compounded semi-annually. 1. Calculate the maturity value of each investment and the total maturity values by the end of 2030. So, there's a two company that Shazwan invested, which is Wahed Fund and Versa Fund. The 5,000 plus with 7,500 equals to 12,500. Then, we must divide it by 2. Then, we get total amount of 6,250. This amount Shazwan invested into the two company, which is Wahed Fund and Versa Fund. The value of P, which is 6,250, is for each of the company. So for the Wahed Fund, M equals to 12. Meanwhile, I is 0.048 divided by 12. So we get 1/250. N is 12 times 5, we get 60. And K is 4.8%. Meanwhile, for Versa Fund, M equals 2. And I equals to 0.046 divided by 2, we get 0.023. And divided by 2 times 5 equals 10. And K is 4.6%. Now, we will calculate for both company. For Wahed Fund, S equal to 6,250. 1 plus 1/250 and N is 60. So the answer is 7,941 and 50 cents. Meanwhile, for Versa Fund, S equal to 6,250, 1 plus 0.023, N is 10. And the answer is 7,845 ringgit at 78 cents.
Next is question 1B2. Among these investment funds, which offers a better deal? Explain your reason. So the answer is Wahed Fund, because they offered highest interest, which is 4.8% that promise higher returns and profits. Besides that, Wahed Fund offered compounded monthly that results in consistency of profitability. And the last question is B3. Calculate the total interest earned from this investment from 2020 until 2030. So now we are going to calculate the total interest for Wahed Fund. The formula is I equals to S minus P. So the interest is RM 1,691 and 50 cents. So how do we get that answer? So we calculate by using the formula given. So 7,941.50 cents minus 6,250, which why we can get the answer. So the last one is we calculate the total interest for Versa Fund. We use the same formula and we get the answer 1,595 ringgit and 78 cents.
Alright, I'm Gwen and I will discuss about question 2, which is content 20 marks. The chronological of this question is, Sarah's parents allocated an initial principal of 10,000 ringgit into her college fund upon her birth. This fund earns 3.8% interest compounded semi-annually for 18 years. After 18 years, the entire accumulated amount will be used to fund her college education through equal withdrawals in every 6 months over a span of 5 years. First question, A. Calculate the total accumulated amount of the fund after 18 years. First, we have to find the value that we need for the formula. The formula is S equal to R, 1 plus I, N minus 1 divided by I. Now, we have to find all the value that we needed, which is R equal to 10,000 ringgit, K equal to 3.8%, M equal to 2, I equal to 0.038 divided by 2, we get 0.019. Then last, N equal to 2 times by 18, we get 36. Then we transfer all the value that we have found into the formula. S equal to 10,000, 1 plus 0.019, and the N is 36, we minus with 1, and we divided by 0.019. Then we get the total for S, which is S equal to 510,059.44 ringgit. Next, we move to the next question. B. Find the amount that Sarah can withdraw in every 6 months from the account while she is in college. The formula for this question is A equal to R 1 minus 1 plus I negative N divided by I. Now, we have to find the N first because it says in every 6 months for 5 years. N equal to 2 times by 5, we get 10. Then we transfer all the value that we have find into the formula, which is A, which is 510,059.44 equal to R 1 minus 1 plus 0.019 negative 10 divided by 0.019, and we get the total R, which is 56,486 ringgit 46 cents. Alright, that's all.
I'm Deffanie, so I will start discuss about question C. Upon graduating and beginning her career, Sarah planned to purchase a car priced at 65,000 ringgit. She makes a 15 down payment and secure financing for the remaining amount through a bank over an 8 years term, with interest compounded monthly at a rate of 4.5%. So, question 1. Calculate the monthly payment and the total amount of interest charged by the bank. So, for this question, the formula is A equal R 1 minus 1 plus I minus N over I. As we can see, the price of the car is 65,000 ringgit and Sarah have to make 15% of down payment. The down payment of the car is 15%. Then we have to find the interest rate per interest period. So I equal 0.045 over 12 and the answer 3 over 800. So the compounded monthly is 12. N equal 12 minus 8, 96. Then we have to calculate the balance. So, balance equals 65,000 ringgit times 85%. The total amount is 55,000 ringgit 250. After we calculate the balance, we use the formula A equal R 1 minus 1 plus I minus N over I. So, A is 55,250 equals R 1 minus 1 plus 3 over 800 minus 96, 3 over 800. R equals 686 ringgit 38 cents. Then we calculate the total interest. We use the formula I equal NR minus A. So I equal 96 times 886 38 cents minus 55,250. So the total of I is 10,642 ringgit 48 cents. Next we go to question 2. She failed to make her first 2 monthly payment. What amount must she pay in the third month for fully clear the outstanding arrears? So for the formula we use for this question is S equal R 1 plus I N minus 1 over I. As the question say, Sarah failed to make his 2 monthly payment and she also want to pay for the third month fully clear the outstanding area. So the total she have to pay is 2 months plus 3 the third month. So the equal of N is 3N. So we use the formula to know how much must Sarah pay for the 3 months. So S equal R 1 plus I N minus 1 over I. So S equals 686 ringgit 68 cents. 1 minus 3 over 800 times 3 minus 1 over 3 per 800. So the total Sarah have to pay for the 3 months is 266 ringgit 87 cents. Next, we go to question 3. After completing 6 years of loan payment, Sarah intends to fully settle the remaining balance. Determine the amount to be paid and total interest occurring over the period. For this question, we use the formula A equal R 1 minus 1 plus I minus N over I. As we can see, the question said that Sarah wants to completing 6 years of the loan payment. So, 6 years equals 72 months. So, 96 minus 72 equals 24 months. Sarah will get rebate because she paid the loan early. Then, we use the formula A equal R 1 minus 1 plus I minus N over I. A24 equals 686.68 cents. 1 minus 1 plus 3 over 800 minus 24 over 3 per 800. So the total of A24 is 50,725 ringgit 42 cents. After that, we calculate the total interest. We use the formula I equal NR minus A. So I equal 24 times 686 ringgit 38 cents minus 15,725.42 cents. The total of the interest is 747.70 cents.
That's all from our group.
Yay! We finally finished our discussion.
I have to edit the video.
And Gwen, don't forget to teach me this.
No.
Wait!
What's been on my mind? I wanna be
Finally, the unit trust from 2020 has finally matured. The maturity value almost hit 8,000 ringgit, just as we hoped.
Wow, congratulations, Amir. That 5.4% rate compounded monthly really works. It's over 7 years. Our calculation for your principal initial will seem spot on.
Hey Amir, how much did you invest in your initial amount until you get 8,000 ringgit in your account as your maturity value?
Let's dive in.
So our first question will be, what is our initial investment in this unit trust? So we want to look for the value of P. So in order to look for the value of P, we need to use formula S equal to P1 plus I power of N. So as we're given here, so just insert your number. So 8,000 P 1 plus I 0.0045 power 54. So our value of P will be RM 5486.49. Will be your final answer.
So we will continue with this question. In 2027, Amir added 5,500 ringgit into the same fund, which is the total 30,500 ringgit. So we want to search for Wahid fund and Faisal fund maturity value. So we need to use formula S equal to P
information was given, so we need to put it in the formula. S equal to P is 6,750. 1 plus I is 0.042 over 4 and the power of 12. So S equal to RM 7,651 ringgit 38 cents. Next, we want to calculate Faisal fund. We use the same formula, which is S equals to P 1 plus R to the power of N. So the information was given, so we just need to put it in the formula. So P is 6,750. 1 plus I is 0.06 over 2 and the power of 6. S is equal to RM 859 ringgit and 85 cents. This is the interest earned between Wahid Fund and Faisal Fund. Based on this answer, Faisal Fund offer a better deals, which is the interest is 30,009 ringgit and 5 cents, higher than Wahid Fund that offer interest 901 ringgit and 38 cents. So based on these two is from the same principle. The higher interest is the best investment. This is due to Faisal Fund higher nominal interest rate compared to Wahid Fund.
So for this question, we're going to calculate the total interest earned from this investment from 2020 until 2030. So for 2020, Amir invests 8,000 for S and for P is 5,486 ringgit 49 cents. So we're going to use I equals to S minus P to find the total interest. So we're going to fill the S and P into the formula. S equals to this is the total interest in 2020. So we're gonna find the total interest in 2030. We're gonna use the same formula, I equals to S minus P, and we fill in the S and P into the formula. So that I equals to 2. So this is the total interest for 20. So total interest earned in 2020 until 2030 is 4,724. So total interest earned in 2020 until 2030 is 4,724 ringgit and 74 cents. So for this question, we're going to calculate the total accumulated amount of the fund after 18 years. So we're going to use this formula to find the total accumulated amount. We're going to fill in the P, I, and N into this formula.
So for our next question, the question asks to find the amount that Nisha can withdraw in every 3 months. So we have to use the formula A equal to R 1 minus 1 plus I of N over I. So in order to find the value of R, we have to insert this amount into the formula. So A equal to 2456.19 equal to R, because we need to look for the value of R. So 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus I is equal to 0.01 power of n equal to 4 over I 0.01. So the final answer will be RM 1156.37. That is your final answer. So the question asks you to calculate the money payment that Nisha need to pay for her car and the total amount of interest charged by the bank. So the cost for her car is 80,000 ringgit. So she have make the down payment for 1,000 ringgit. So the balance that she need to pay is 72,000 ringgit. So in order to find the money payment for Nisha's car, so we have to use the formula A equal to R1 minus 1 plus I power of n over I. So all the information are here, so we have to put it. So A is equal to 72,000. The balance equal to R. R is the monthly payment that she need to pay. R1 minus 1 plus I 0.003 and 108 over I 0.003. So the money payment that she need to pay is RM 781.4F. This is the final answer. So next we are going to find the total amount of interest that charged by the bank. So we have to use the formula I equal to NR minus A. So I is the total interest. I equal to N108. The R is 781.48 minus with the balance is 72,000 ringgit. So the final answer will be RM12399.48. So this is the interest that charged by the bank.
This is for question 2. If she failed to make her first 2 money payments, what amount must she pay in the 3rd month to fully clear the outstanding areas? So before we find the amount, we must to find the areas. So areas equals to 2 months plus 1 month equals to 3 months. So after we find the areas, we have to we need to know what amount must she pay in the 3rd month to clear the outstanding areas. So to find the amount, we have to use this formula. S equals to R plus I power of n minus 1 over I. So S equals to 781.48 1 plus 0.003 power of 3 minus 1 over 0.003. So the amount that must she pay is RM 2,351 ringgit 48 cents. So this is for question 3. To determine the amount to be paid and total interest incurred over the period is first, we have to find the amount to be paid. To find the amount to be paid, we have to find the N first. So N equals to 108 minus 84 equals to 24. So after we find the n, we have to find the amount after 24. So A 24 equals to R 1 minus 1 plus I power of negative n over I equals to 78148 1 minus 1 plus 0.003 minus 24 over 0.003. So the total amount to be paid is A24 equals to Rn 1807011. So next, we have to find the total interest incurred over the period. So to find the total interest incurred over the period is we have to use formula I equals to NR minus A. So I equals to 24 78148 minus 18070.11. So I will be equals to Rn 685 ringgit 41 cents.
Post with the fans. Post with the post with the post with the fans.
How you gonna be mad on vacation? Got to run around all these Jamaicans. This that prime.
Good morning, guys. My name is Sean, and today I was assigned to discuss to you guys about our group assignment on question 1A. So, come here. As we know, in the first sentence of question 1, Afiq invested in a unit trust that offered a 3.8%. That will be our annual interest rate, and Afiq also compounded every 3 months, and that will be 4 because 3 divided by 12 months. 12 divided by 3 months, sorry. And then after 5 years, this unit trust was valued at 7,600. So in this sentence, we know that after 5 years, which is the time period taken, this unit trust was valued at 7,600, which will be our accumulated amount at the end of the 5 years. So now all the information are here. What are we looking at for is our P, which is the original principal. So in order to get this, we just key in all of this into our calculator based on this formula. This formula is based on our compound interest, and after you key in, it should look like this, and then your answer will be like this.
From the question 1B, we can get the annual interest rate is 0.04, the frequency of commission is 2, interest rate per interest period is 0.02, the investment period is 12, and the end is 24. From the question, by using Wahid Fund, we can use this formula. So 6,800 is the principal, this is the I we can get from it here. So the 24 is the end. So we need to calculate it. So we get S1 is 10,937.37. Let's continue with Bursa Fund. So the I we can get here different from the Wahid Fund, and the N is 72 different from the Wahid Fund. But we use the same formula as the Wahid Fund. So we just fill this information into this formula. So we get the S2 is 10,092.95. The end of this calculation, we can get the total maturity value. So we just plus the S1 and the S2. So we can get the answer here, 21,030 and 32. On question 2, the question asks which fund is offer a better deal. So I think Wahid fund is better because get more money than the Versa fund. So that's all from me. Good night.
Good morning. You're here with me again. So today, right now, I'm gonna teach you how to do the last question on question 1. So the question asks us calculate the total interest earned from this investment from 2020 until 2032. So all of these fund interests are from question 2. By using this interest formula S minus P, you keep on repeating it from all the numbers and answers that are jotted down in question 2 just now, and you will get all this answer just like that, you know. This one is for Wahid, and then this one is for Versa fund interest, and then you just add all together and you will get this answer.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Lena Refin Abdul Rahman. I'm from AC1101A. So today, let's continue to our question is number 2. This question stated that Carmela parents allocated an initial principal of 8,000 into her college fund upon her birth. This fund earns 4.5 interest compounded every 4 months for 18 years. After 18 years, the entire accumulated amount will be used to fund her college education through equal withdrawal in every 4 months over a span of 4 years. So from this question, we know that the P is 8,000 and the K is 0.045 and the M is 3 and the time equal to 18 years, and like we know, we can get I equal to K over M, so we get 0.015. So we use the future formula that S equal to P open bracket 1 plus I close bracket the power of N. So we know that the P is 8,000 and 1 plus 0.0015 and the power of 54. So if you get in all this into the calculator, here we got S equal to RM 17,875.42.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Arifan from group AC1101A. So I'm going to explain question 2B. In the question said, find the amount that Carmela can withdraw in every 4 months from the account while she's in college. So we can use present value formula, which is A equal to R open bracket 1 minus 1 plus I with the power of N over I. The A we already got from question 1, question A, which is my friend Daniel already solved it. And this is the amount, and we are looking for the annuity for every 4 months. And all the information we already got it from the question, and just press the calculator and you will get RM 485.34.
Okay, hello, it's me again. Welcome back. So right now I want to explain to you guys how to solve question C number 1. Okay, according to this question, so we got the balance equal to 74,000 times 85%. So we got RM 62,900. So we use this formula. So let you guys know, the S we have 62,900 equal to, this is what we need to find. R, calculate the total amount of interest charged by the bank is RM 659.53 cent. We times 84, so we got RM 55,400.52. So in order to calculate the total interest, we minus 62,900, we minus 55,400.52. So we got the total interest is RM 7,499.48 cents.
Back with me, Ivan, and I'm going to explain question C number 2. So in the question, it said if she failed to make her first 4 monthly payment, what amount must she pay in the 5th month to fully pay the outstanding arrears? We are going to use the future value formula, which is S equal to R open bracket 1 plus I with the power of n minus 1 over I. So this is the month that she need to pay to fully clear the outstanding arrears, and this is the monthly payment she will need to pay that we got from the question question 1, and all of those information also we get it from question 1. Then we just press the calculator and we will get RM 3,317.50 cents. That's all. This is the final question, which is C number 3. In the question, it said after completing 6 years of loan payment, Camila intends to fully settle the remaining balance. Determine the amount to be paid and total interest incurred over the period. So the time period of the loan payment, it is 7 years, and she said she already done 6 years of loan payment. So 84 months minus 72 months, which is 6 years, and we got the 12 more months that she will need to pay, and this is the monthly payment that she will need to pay, and this is the interest rate per interest period, and the negative 12 is the total months that she will need to pay. And then just click on the calculator and you will get RM 7,762.17.
Hello, my name is Atikah Najwa. Today I will explain to you how to solve question 1A, B1. Part A. First, we calculate the present value of 9,500 ringgit Malaysia, which received in 6 years. The interest rate were 4.4 compounded quarterly. So, using compound interest formula, S equal P 1 plus I power of n. 9,500 equal P1 plus 0.011 power of 24. So P equal to 7,306.27. At the end of year 6, an additional 7,000 is contributed, so the total amount available on year 6 are 9,500 plus 7,000, which is equal to 16,500. This amount is split equally between two funds, which is 6,500 times 0.5 equal to 8,250 each. Based on the questions, Wahid Funds provides 0.04 interest rates, and it's compounded quarterly, and the P is 8,250, and I is K divided by M, which is 0.04 divided by 4 equal to 0.01, and N is 4 times 4 equal to 16. Based on the questions, universal funds offer interest rates 4.6% and it's compounded semi-annually. P is 8,250. I is K divided by M, which is 0.046 divided by 2, which is equal to 0.023. And N is 2 divided by 4, which is equal to 8. First, you have to find Wahid Fund's future value. We're gonna use formula S equal P 1 plus I power of N. SW equal to 8,250 1 plus 0.01 power of 16, which is S equal to 9,673.77 ringgit Malaysia. So we're gonna find the future value of Versa funds, which is we're gonna use the same formula. S equal P 1 plus I power of N. SV equal to 8,250 1 plus 0.023 power of 8, which is S equal to 9,895.98 ringgit Malaysia. Total maturity value SW plus SV 9,673.77 cents plus 9,895.98 cents equal to 19,569.75 cents.
For question B2, among these investment funds which offers a better deal. Now, as all we know, when we compare two investment options, the best fund is the one that gives a higher maturity value after the same investment period. That's the basic principle. We always compare final accumulated amounts using the compound interest formula. Since we got 9,895 ringgit 98 cent for the Versa fund and only 9,673 ringgit 77 cent for the Wahid fund, this clearly shows that Versa gave a higher return even though both funds received the same initial amount of RM 8,250 ringgit. The difference comes from the interest rate and the compounding frequency. Versa has a slightly higher interest rate of 4.6%. And even though it compounds semi-annually, the overall effect still gives a bigger growth. So the answer for B2, Versa fund is better. It is because it gives a higher maturity value. This means Edry's investment grows more over time, giving him higher potential returns. Therefore, it is more profitable for long-term investment purposes. So now, for the question B3, calculate the total interest earned from this investment from 2020 until 2030. Now, as all we know, the total interest earned over a period is calculated by subtracting the total amount invested from the final accumulated value. This helps us see how much an investment actually grew, not just the ending balance. So, the formula we use is interest equal to final amount minus with total amount contributed. We already found the final amount at the end of 2030, which is equal to 19,569 ringgit 75 cent. And the total money Edry contributed from 2020 until 2030 is for initial investment for our P1, which is 7,300 306 ringgit 27 cent, and additional contribution, which is our P2, 7,000 ringgit. Now we need to plus both of the value, and it will equal to 4,306 ringgit 27 cents. This is our total invested. So now we need to calculate total interest earned from this investment. 19,569.75 ringgit minus to 40,306 ringgit 27 cent, and it will equal to 5,263 ringgit 48 cent. So this is our total interest earned. So this means Edry earned 5,263 ringgit 48 cent in interest over the 10-year period. This value represents the total interest from both funds combined after compounding and reinvesting his contributions.
This is an explanation for the answers for assignment MAT112. For the first question, the question needs us to calculate the total accumulated amount of the fund after 18 years. To do this, we have to extract information from the paragraph which is highlighted in red and use that information to substitute it into the monthly compound formula, which is S equal P in brackets I plus I over N. After we substitute the info, we should get our final answer, which is 23,244 ringgit and 46 cents. For question B, we have to find the amount that Shana can withdraw in every 6 months from the account while she is in college. The amount of time she is in college is 5 years. According to that information, we can then use present annuity formula and use the info from the previous question and the paragraph to substitute into the formula to get our monthly withdrawals which is 2 times in a year. The final answer is 2,601 ringgit and 28 cents. For question C, there are 3 parts. The first part requires us to calculate the monthly payment and the total amount of interest charged by the bank. For the monthly payment, we have to extract the information highlighted in red over here and use it to get info to substitute into our present annuity formula. But before that, we have to calculate the percentage of the down payment first to get our A, which is 69,600 ringgit. After that, we can substitute everything into the formula to get our monthly payment, which is 963 ringgit and 33 cents. The total amount of interest charged by the bank is 22,591 and 68 cents. For the second question, we have to find the 2 delayed monthly payments and the payment on 3rd month. To do that, we have to add all of that and use this formula to get our answer, which is 2,889 and 64 cents. For the last one, after 6 years of loan payments, Shana intends to fully settle the remaining balance. We first have to find the remaining balance in months to get N. The remaining balance is 24 months. After that, we can use the info that we got from all of the questions and the paragraphs to substitute them into this formula. In the end, we will get our answer, which is 22,205 ringgit and 65 cents. Now, to answer our final question, which is the amount of interest incurred during the period, we have to use the formula I equal NR minus A, which in this case, NR is just the monthly payments multiplied by the amount of times we need to pay throughout the years, minus A, which is the amount in total to be paid. Substituting the info given in the paragraph and from the question we answered before, our final answer should be 842 ringgit and 27 cents.
About Mr. Firdaus and Miss Helena who are making financial decisions. Are you ready? Let's go!
Question 1. Mr. Firdaus invested in a unit trust that offered 5.4 compounded every 2 months. After 8 years, this unit trust was valued at 9,400. To solve this problem, we have to find the value of S, K, M, and T in the question. To find the initial investment, use the formula S equals to P times 1 plus I to the power of N. Find the I and N, we're going to use I equals to K divided by M and N equals to M times T. We got all the value and we are going to sub everything into the formula. So the initial amount of investment is 6,114.37 cents. Next, Mr. Firdaus contributed an additional 5,000 ringgit into the fund. He then divided the total amount and reinvested into 2 separate investment funds, which is Wahed Fund and Versa Fund. So we are going to find the maturity value of each separate fund and the total maturity value by the end of 2032. In the question, there is stated the value of K and M, and to find the total amount invested, we have to divide half of the total investment fund. The value of P is 7,200. Next, to complete the formula, we have to find the value of I and the value of N. Just like the previous question, we sub the K and M into the formula IK divided by M to find the value of I. Now, to find the value of N, you have to multiply M and T and sub it into the formula to find the value of N. Since we are calculating the maturity value of each investment, we have to do the same thing with Wahed Fund and Versa Fund to find the value of I and value of N. And to complete this question, we use the formula S equals to P multiply 1 plus I to the power of N. So we sub all the values and put into the formula to find maturity value of each investment. Lastly, to find the total maturity value, we have to plus both of the amount. So for this question, since Mr. Firdaus is investing and he wants more profit, so Versa Fund who offers 6% is the better deal because it offers higher rate than Wahed Fund.
For this question, we want to find the total interest earned from 2020 to 2032. So we use the formula I equals to S minus P. For this, we take the final amount and minus the total principal 6,114 ringgit 37 cent plus 5,000. Then when we calculate that, we get 6,526 ringgit 66 cent, and that's the total interest earned. Now, let's look at the question number 2. So we start with part A. Helena parents invest 11,000 at 3.2% interest compounded quarterly for 18 years. To find the total amount after 18 years, we use the compound interest formula, which is S equal to P times 1 plus I, the power of N. We are already given the values for P is 11,000, I is 0.008, and N is 72. So now I substitute the value into the formula S equal to 11,000 times 1.008 to the power of 72. Then we got the total accumulated amount after 18 years. Now for part B, Helena wants to withdraw money every 3 months for 5 years. We treat this as a regular annuity withdrawal, so we use the present value of annuity formula A equals R times 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative N over I.
Then I substitute the value into the annuity formula, as we already given value A, I, and N, and we only need to find the R, so we substitute the value into the formula to find the R.
Moving forward to the main question, it is told to calculate the monthly payment and the total amount of interest charged by the bank. Question 2C. RM 68,000 times 12 over 100 equals to the amount of down payment paid, which is RM 8,160. So, RM 68,000 minus 8,160 equals to balance to be paid, which is RM 59,840. And that is how you get the monthly payment. So K equals to 0.036, M equals to 12, T equals to 8, N equals to 96, and I equals to 0.003. So 68,000 equals to R bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus 0.003 bracket negative exponent over 0.003, which results to R equals to RM 816.28 cents.
Find the total interest charged by the bank. We use the formula I equals to NR minus A. Then we sub the value inside to get 10,362.88 cents.
Question 2. If she failed to make her first 2 monthly payments, what amount must she pay in the 3rd month to fully clear the outstanding areas? That would mean she has to plus 2 of the months that she hasn't paid and the 3rd month payment, meaning for N equals to 3. So the equation that we're going to use for this question will be S equals to R, fraction bracket 1 plus I bracket, exponent N minus 1 over I. So that would be S equals to 1 bracket, fraction 1 plus 0.003 bracket, exponent 3 minus 1 over 0.003. So the amount that she has to fully pay on the 3rd month would be S equals to RM 2,456.19 cents. Question 3. After completing 7 years of loan payments, Helena intends to fully settle the remaining balance, determine the amount to be paid, and total interest incurred over the period. 1 year equals to 12 months, N equals to 96 minus 12, N equals to 84. So the answer would be A subscript to 84 equals to RM 60,053.43 cents.
So in summary, we have went through all these formulas for you to understand, and we hope this is beneficial for everyone who is watching. And of course, thank you for your attention in this video, and we would like to see you in the next one. Bye! Question 1. In 2020, Aaliyah invested in a unit trust that offered a 4.2% compounded every 2 months. After 6 years, this unit trust was valued at 8,200 ringgit. The question given us to find the initial investment, which is principals. The formula used for this question is S equal to P1 plus I power of N. To use this formula, we need to identify the annual nominal rate offered by the unit trust, the conversion period, periodic interest rate, time, and total number of interest period. The unit trust offered a 4.2% for the annual nominal rate, K equal to 0.042, and the conversion period is compounded every 2 months, which is M equal to 6. Ali invested in the unit trust for 6 years, T equal to 6. Accumulated amount is 8,200 ringgit, which is S. The periodic interest rate I is equal to 7 over 1,000. Total number of interest period is N equal to 36.
After identifying, then we can use the formula S equal to P 1 plus I power of n. 8,200 equal to P 1 plus 7 over 1,000 power of 36. P equal to 6,379 ringgit. Ali's initial investment in this unit trust is equal to 6,379 ringgit. Question 1b. Subsequently, Ali contributed an additional 5,600 into the same fund. He then consolidated the total amount and reinvested it into two separate investment funds. He invested 50% of this amount in Wahid Fund, which offered 4.2% compounded semi-annually, and another 50% in Versa Fund, which offered 5% compounded quarterly. Question 1b Roman 1. Calculate the maturity value of each investment and the total maturity values by the end of 2032. We need to find the balance, which is accumulated amount after 6 years of investment, 8,200 ringgit plus additional contribution 5,600 ringgit, which is equal to 13,800 ringgit. After that, then we can find the principal for both investment fund, which is balance divided by 2 because Ali invested 50% from the balance for each both of the fund. The formula used for this question is S equal to P 1 plus I power of n. For Wahid Fund, P equal to 6,900 ringgit, K equal to 0.042, M equal to 2, I equal to 21 over 1,000, N equal to 12. S equal to P 1 plus I power of n. S equal to 6,900, 1 plus 21 over 1,000 power of 12. S equal to 8,854 ringgit 38 cents. For Versa Fund, P equal to 6,900, K equal to 0.05, M equal to 4, I equal to 1 over 80, N equal to 24. S equal to P 1 plus I power of n. S equal to 6,900, 1 plus 1 over 80 power of 24. S equal to RM 9,292 ringgit 72 cents. The maturity value for Wahid Fund is 8,854 ringgit 38 cents, while the Versa Fund maturity value is 9,296 ringgit 72 cents. Next is to find the total maturity values by the end of 2032. The equation used is total maturity value equal to maturity value Wahid Fund plus maturity value Versa Fund. Total maturity value equal to 8,854 ringgit 38 cents plus 9,296 ringgit 72 cents, which is equal to 18,151 ringgit 10 cents. Question 1b Roman 2. Among these investment fund, which offers a better deal? Explain your reason. Versa Fund offers a better deal. This is because the Versa Fund has a higher maturity value, 9,296 ringgit 72 cents compared to the Wahid Fund, 8,854 ringgit 38 cents after the same period and with the same initial principal. This is due to its higher annual interest rate, 5% versus 4.2%, and more frequent compounding quarterly versus semi-annually.
Question 1b Roman 3. Find the total interest earned. We use the formula total interest equals to total final values minus total principals. So, 18,151 ringgit 10 cents minus in brackets 6,379 ringgit plus 5,600 ringgit. So, the interest earned is 6,172 ringgit 10 cents. Question 2 Part A. We are told that Mira's parents invested 12,000 ringgit into her education fund at birth. This fund earns 4.5% interest compounded every 4 months for 18 years. It means that P equals to 12,000, I equals to 3 divided by 200, N equals to 54. We use the compound interest formula, which is S equals to P in brackets 1 plus I power of N. So S equals to 12,000 in brackets 1 plus 3 divided by 200 power of 54. So X equals to 26,813 ringgit 13 cents. For part B, we need to determine how much Mira can withdraw every 4 months over a period of 4 years while she is in college. We use the annuity formula A equals to R in brackets 1 minus in brackets 1 plus I power of negative n over I. So, 26,813 ringgit 13 cents equals to R in brackets 1 minus in brackets 1 plus 3 over 200 power of negative 12 divided by 3 over 200. Finally, R equals to 2,458 ringgit 23 cents.
In this question, Mira planned to purchase a car priced at 95,000 ringgit. She makes a 15% down payment, so the amount that she paid up front is DP equal to 1.5 times 95,000 ringgit. DP equal to 14,250 ringgit. The remaining amount that need to be financed by the bank is B equal to 0.85 times 95,000 ringgit and B going to be equal to 80,750 ringgit. The bank offer a 7 years loan with an annual interest rate of 4.2% compounded monthly. Therefore, monthly interest rate is going to be K equal to 0.042 divided 12 and K is going to be 0.0035. Total number of monthly payment is N equal to 7 years divided by 12 equal to 84 months. Next, the loan payment formula is used to calculate the monthly installment. The formula is going to be A equal to R bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus I bracket power of negative n divided by I n bracket. Next, we are going to find an interest change by the bank. We are going to use formula I equal to NR minus A. I equal to 84 bracket 1,111 ringgit 21 cents bracket minus 80,750 ringgit. And it's going to be I equal to 93,341 ringgit 64 cent minus 80,750 cents. And I equal to 12,591 ringgit 64 cents. If she failed to make her first 4 monthly payment, she must pay it in her 5th month to clear the outstanding areas. N equal to 4 areas plus payment on 5th month, so N equal to 5. We are going to use formula S equal to R bracket 1 plus I bracket power of N minus 1 divide by I bracket. S5 equal to 1,111 ringgit 21 cents bracket 1 plus 7 divide 12 bracket power of 5 minus 1 divided by 7 divide 2,000 bracket. The answer for S5 equal to 5,595 ringgit 8 cents. Question C, Roman 3. After Mira completing 6 years of loan payment, Mira tend to fully settle the remaining balance. Determine the amount that need to be paid by Mira and total interest incurred over the period. 6 years equal to 72 months. And to be paid, N equal to 84 minus 72 equal to 12. We are going to use formula A12 equal to R bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus I bracket power of negative N divide by I bracket. A12 equal to 1,111 ringgit 21 cent bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus 7 over 2,000 bracket power of negative 12 divide by 7 over 2,000 bracket. A12 equal to 13,036 ringgit and 5 cents. For the total interest, I equal to NR minus A. I equal to 72 bracket 1,111 ringgit 21 cent bracket plus 13,036 ringgit and 5 cent minus 80,750 ringgit equal to 12,293 ringgit 17 cent.